Hello. In this lesson we're going to have a little look at formatting text. Okay, so I'm going to start by opening a Word document. If you remember from a previous lesson, there's different ways you can access Word. I've got it pinned to my taskbar at the bottom down here of my screen. I've got a shortcut on my desktop, or alternatively if I click on the Windows icon here, I've got another way of accessing it on my start menu, or if I scroll down to W, I can access it here as well. I'm going to go from the shortcut on my desktop today, so I click to open Word. Okay, now the document I want is one of my recent documents, is this one here. If it wasn't, I would need to go through my menus, but just, yeah, let's have a little look. So if I click on open, and it asks you to have a look whereabouts on your computer you've saved the document, and so you need to browse through your files. So if I click on browse here, I'm going to go into training documents, and it's this one here I want, Cardiff Castle. So I'm going to double click on that to open it. Okay, so there's my document opened, Cardiff Castle. I've got some text on here. Doesn't look very interesting at the moment. I want to use some different formatting techniques. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be looking at the ribbon. This across here is called our ribbon, and we're going to be focusing mainly today on this little section here and seeing what these tools all do. Okay, so first of all I want to change my title. It's in small writing, the same size as the rest of the document. So what I'm going to do is select the text that I want to change. Now, how to do that? First of all, you click at the beginning of the text that you want with the left button of your mouse, hold that button down, drag across the text that you want to change. Okay, as I drag across, you can see this grey box appears. I've still got my finger on the left button of my mouse. Now I'm going to let go. Okay, as I let go, I get this little shortcut menu that's appeared. Now the things which you can see on that are very similar to that section of the ribbon I just pointed to. So if you want to quickly, you can go up and use these here, or alternatively you can use what I showed you in the first place, your choice. Okay, so what buttons have we got up here? We've got this one. This is the bold button, and as you see, as I'm hovering over it, I'm not pressing anything, I'm just moving my mouse up to it. I get a little tooltip that appears that tells me what the button is all about. Bold, make your text bold. Also, it has CTRL, Control and B. That's a shortcut way of getting to this button. But just for now, we'll look at the buttons as they are. Okay, bold. This one here next to the bold is italic. Let's click them on and see. Okay, so bold. You can see my text has gone darker and thicker. Italic. If I click on that, it's made my text go slopey. You can also at the moment see a grey box has appeared behind these little buttons. They're kind of a switch. So we've switched on bold, we've switched on italic and it's only just for this text, the text that we selected in the first place. It doesn't affect any of the other writing in the document. Okay, the next one, this U with a line under it, is underline. I click on that, and that's what happens. We get a line underneath our writing. Okay, whilst it's still selected, if I then decided, okay, I want it to be bold and I want it to be underlined, but I don't think I want it to be sloping italic anymore, so I'm click that. I effectively switch that off, and you can see my text is straightened up. Okay. Next to the underline, we've got another little option here. We've got a little arrow pointing downwards. This is a drop down. If I click on that, that sets the style of my underlining. So by default, just by clicking on the U, you just get a single straight line. But you could have a double line, a thicker line, a dashed, dotted, whatever. You can see all the different options that are there, and there's even more options if you go into it a little bit further down as well. Just for now, we're going to use the default, just a single, switch off, a single straight underline. Okay, so that's changed that. I want my writing to be a little bit bigger though as well, other than bold and underlined. I want it to be larger. So our text's sizes are up here. We've got, here it says 10.5. That's the size it's been set to at the moment, 10.5 points. So if I click on the little arrow again next to that, it gives me some further options. Each of these numbers are a size, and as I hover over them, you can see it's showing me on my document what effect that's going to have. Okay, so let's say I'm going to set it at, I'm at 28, quite a decent size there. So I'm going to click on that 28, and you can see now it's set it at that. Font style. If I click on this one next to the number 28 here, you can see it gives me different styles of writing, if you like, different font styles that I could choose. Let me have a little look. They're in alphabetical order. I've got a scroll bar here that I can pull down, or if you've got a mouse with a wheel on, you can use that. Or if you know the name of the font, if you start typing in this box up here, you'll find it as well. So I think I like going back to the earlier on. What did we have up here? Quite like that one. I'm going to put Algerian font on. Click. Okay. Right. My title is looking a little bit stronger now. Let's see what else can I do to it. If I wanted it a little bit bigger, but I could use this arrow, this A here. That's also increasing the font size, but it's doing it. It's not. We're not setting a number here. We're just having a little look what we think it looks like and choosing that way really. Okay, let's take that back. So larger font, smaller font. This one here, this is quite a nice one to use. Although I switched on to Algerian. Let me change the font away from Algerian, because Algerian by default is all capitals. Let's choose it. I'll choose Arial Black. It's a thicker font style, similar to the rest of the text really. Okay, so this one here allows me to change the case of my writing. So we've got sentence case. That means we have a capital letter at the beginning, like that. So just at the beginning and not for the rest of the sentence. Or we could have lowercase. Everything is in lowercase. We could have uppercase. Everything's capitalized. We can have capitalize each word. So it's just the initial letters of each word that become capital. Or we've got this other case here. This is a funny one. Toggle case. So toggle case, anything that's capitals, it will make lowercase. Anything that's lowercase, it will make capitals. That looks very wrong. I'm going to change it, but it is useful in certain places. That's a useful button to have. And this little button, a key, whatever you want to call it, tool in itself is a really useful one that I think a lot of the time you forget's there. If you've typed a whole pile of text, a whole paragraph, say that you decide now you want it in to capitals, I bet quite a few people have gone and retyped it in capitals, forgetting that all they need to do is select and come over to this button here and click on it to change it that way. Right, I'm just going to capitalize each word. There we go. Okay, we've got a few more tools here. Nice one, of course. This one here, the colour, the font colour. So by default, if I click on it, it makes it red. But again, there's another little arrow that drops down. So if I click on that little drop down, it allows me to choose a range of colours from the top here. These are called the theme colours, which we'll explain at a later date. The theme colours. You've got standard colours. You've also got more colours. So you're not limited to just what you see. If you click on that, you can see you've got a whole big colour wheel of colours here that you can just click and select. Unlike unlike when we were selecting from the other part of the colours, as I chose colours or hovered over colours, you could see this moving. This one doesn't. You just have to click and select. Okay, so let's have blue for that one there. Right, okay, so we've changed our title quite a lot now, so it's a lot bigger, it's bolder, we used that one. It's been underlined, we used that one. Decided we didn't want italic, so we didn't switch that one on. Changed the size using this, or also using these two buttons here to make bigger and smaller. Changed the style of the writing using this one. Capitalize each word using this button here. Okay. That's most of what we need in that section here. We've got subscript and superscript here, which we don't need for this title. You'd use that. Let me show you how it does work anyway, the subscript and superscript, in a moment. Say I didn't want any of that formatting, I changed my mind, I want to completely clear it. We've got this button here. This clears all formatting. So if I click on it, you can see it takes everything right back to the start. Okay, let me just make the font slightly bigger. I've still got it selected, so everything I'm doing is still going to affect it. I'm going to just make it a little bit bigger. And this time I'm just going to click somewhere else in my document which deselects my title. Now I'm just going to select this word castle. Okay, so here I'm clicking before it, dragging across, and I've got the word castle selected. Let me just show you what these two buttons do. Not really appropriate for here, but just so you get an idea of how they work. Okay, so superscript makes the words smaller and lifts them from the same level. So you might use that if you were doing, I don't know, degrees or something like that, the symbol for degrees. You've also got subscript, which is this one here. So subscript makes the text smaller and drops it below the line. Superscript makes the text smaller and drops it above the line. Again, don't like that. Let me clear my formatting, and let's see if I can make it bigger again. Okay. The other one I haven't shown you is this one here, strike through. So it does what it says on the tin. If you click it, it crosses it out. Okay, so we've looked at this section of our ribbon here, the font section, and looked at how we can change the look of some of our writing. Okay. Next session we'll have a look at this section, the paragraph section, and see what we can do with that. Thank you.